Assalamu alaikum everyone. How are you all? I hope you all are doing well. Today we will study or we will learn about cotton textile industry. As we all know that cotton textile industry, it's a large scale industry. So we will study about cotton textile industry in detail inshallah. Let's move forward. Okay. How do we study cotton textile industry? As I have told you earlier when we were studying brick kiln industry, the synopsis, right? Likewise, we will be studying inshallah cotton textile industry. Also, we will study what is cotton textile industry, why is it important, where it is found in Pakistan. It's cotton textile industry as a system like input, process, and output. That is, those are involved in this particular type of industry. Then we will discuss its problems and then we'll talk about solution, inshallah. Let's proceed. Okay. Now let's first discuss what is cotton textile industry. As we all know that, and I have told you also, cotton textile industry, it's a large scale industry, right? And this is a secondary industry. Why is it considered as a secondary industry? Because manufacturing takes place in this industry, right? So that is why it is considered as secondary industry. And then it includes the conversion of fiber into yarn and yarn into fabric. So the whole process that there is involved in it, right? So process of manufacturing is involved, right? That is why it is considered as secondary industry. Okay. Why is it important, right? Why do we need cotton textile industry in Pakistan, right? As we all know that Pakistan, it's an agro-based country, right? So cotton, it's chief crop in Pakistan, right? So that is why that helps us, or there is no need to, we don't import any raw cotton from any other country because we already grow cotton in our country, right? So which reduces the import burden, right? Okay, it possesses cotton textile industry. It possesses great export potential, right? So we have international market of our ready-made products, ready-made garments, right? Those are value-added products, right? So when we export our value-added products, we earn more foreign exchange, right? It promotes production of raw cotton, right? When the more cotton textile industry would be opened up in Pakistan, multiple cotton textile industry would be opened up in Pakistan, so agricultural production of raw cotton would be enhanced, right? So simultaneously, these two industries will flourish in Pakistan. Cotton textile industry provides employment, definitely, right? Because in Pakistan, again, we know that cheap labor is there available to us, right? In different areas of Pakistan. Then it meets domestic demand. Production on a large scale reduces cost per unit. It means economy of scale. What is economy of scale? When we produce product on a large scale in bulk, right? So it reduces the cost of that per unit. Um, that gets reduces. That is called economy of scale. So that's why it is important to learn or to have multiple cotton textile industries in Pakistan. And very important thing that we need to discuss, cotton textile industry uses local raw material. Just now I have discussed, which reduces import burden, right? Okay. Now, furthermore, cotton is, as you all know, that is the basic cash crop of Pakistan, right? And in Asia, Pakistan is the 8th largest exporter of textile products, right? So we earn most of the revenue is being earned through that particular sector, right? So it is important to have cotton textile industries in Pakistan. Okay, let's discuss where. Where are means location, where they're found in Pakistan. Number one, the first map that you can see here, right? This one. This is available in your textbook in Humana Sethi book, page number 157, figure 9.6. I'm repeating again, page 157, figure 9.6, because I'm sorry, it's blur here. which shows the cotton textile centers in Pakistan, right? So as we can see, those are spread out in in the Indus Plain, and some are found uh, in Peshawar, Nushaira, and all these areas, right? Okay. Then there are the other map, which is this one, right? This map, it shows us the main, is if you can see the red dots are there on this map. These are the major cotton centers, cotton textile centers in Pakistan, right? So what are these major main cotton textile centers? Are Karachi, Hyderabad, and Faisalabad. These three are considered as the main centers of cotton textile industry, right? And why are they considered? Why do we have this distribution across Pakistan, right? Let's talk about Karachi first, right? Why are Karachi is considered as the main cotton textile center? Because it has the sufficient labor available there, cheap labor is available there, because we know the population of Karachi. Then imported machinery is safe from additional transportation cost. As Karachi, we all know that it is located near at the port, right? So transportation cost of the textile machinery is, it gets reduced, right? So no need to spend extra transport charges on for the machinery and for the export of cotton goods as well, right? A large domestic market is there for cotton products, because cotton is the most it is in need, right? It has great demand, because as we know that Karachi is the major city, one of the major cities in Pakistan, right? So there's a demand is more here, right? The other thing, the other factor which is affecting on the location of cotton textile industry in Pakistan, that is availability of power supply, right? We should know that power supply, it is supplied by the Karangi thermal power station and Karachi nuclear power plant and Bin Qasim thermal power station. That these all power station we have studied in power resources chapter, right? So these all power station, they ensure the consistent and smooth supply of power to all these industrial sector of Karachi. And we all know that, as I told you, Karachi is the major city, right? One of the major cities, so it is linked with the rest of the country by efficient transport system. Like we have, Karachi is connected by road, by rail, and by air with the rest of the country, right? Okay. And here, availability of capital and entrepreneurs are also there, right? Okay. Now let's talk about Faisalabad. That was, these all were the locational factors for Karachi, right? The other is, let's talk about Faisalabad. Why is the Faisalabad considered as the major city center of for cotton textile, right? Again, the most of the factors are same as we discussed for Karachi. Number one, it is located close to cotton belt of Punjab, right? That is a major locational factor for these cotton textile industries. Those are found in Faisalabad, right? Because they are nearby cotton belt. So transportation cost to get raw material from the cotton fields, that it gets reduced, right? Then labor is available there, right? And large scale market in thickly populated province of Punjab, right? Because Faisalabad, again, it is a thickly populated uh, area, right? And Punjab, I must say, right, it's a thickly populated area of Pakistan. So there, the demand again it's more. And then favorable government policies in terms of infrastructure, that is also well connected by road and railway with the rest of the country, right? Now let's talk about Hyderabad. Why is Hyderabad is considered as the third most um, or another most main cotton textile center in Pakistan? Again, it is also located near in the cotton producing areas of Lower Sindh, right? Like Faisalabad, right? Large market in Sindh, right? It has, again, the domestic need is there, domestic market is there. It is not far from Karachi, right? So again, for importing machinery and exporting cotton textile products, the transportation cost, again, it gets reduced for Hyderabad also. Other than that, so many other, you can see in this map, so many other cotton textiles centers are there, right? Industries are found in other parts of Pakistan also. So again, domestic market, we do use cotton textile products, right? Then again, favorable government policies, right? When I say favorable government policies, like I meant to say about like tax holidays or tax exemption, right? Or it's cotton textile industry. If you will know, you have noticed, right? It is along the cotton belts, right? In upper and lower indus plain, right? So government do give incentives to subsidies in terms of loans to agricultural industry, and uh, again to improve the production, and which again it's very good for cotton textile industry also, right? I hope you have understood. Okay, let me discuss the type of question that could come. Like for example, if any one of these maps are given to you and you would be asked describe the distribution pattern of cotton textile centers in Pakistan, right? This question again, it always comes for 3 marks, right? So as we can see, the cotton textile centers, if we look at the Pakistan, these are unevenly distributed, right? Secondly, they are not found in Balochistan. Major part of Balochistan, there is no cotton textile industry, right? Or yes, we can see the only in Quetta is there, right? But the rest of the Balochistan, that is left, right? The third point would be, we can see the clustered or concentrated the multiple cotton textile industries in upper and lower Indus plain, or you can say Indus plain, right? So that is how we follow the pattern when the question comes, describe the distribution pattern, right? Okay. Again, the second question could be, explain the reason for this distribution. That comes for 4 marks. If, for example, it means why are these cotton textile industry located here, you need to give the reasons. Just now we discussed domestic market is there, availability of raw material is there. If we'll give example of Islamabad, Hyderabad, Karachi, uh, and then for specifically for Karachi, import or export cost, it gets reduced, right? Transportation cost gets reduced because that we have port here. And uh, other than that, power supplies there, continuous power supplies there, right? So these all would be the reasons that we can write in our answer, right? I hope you have understood. Let's proceed further. Okay, these are the pictures. Karachi is the largest cotton textile center, and here we have Faisalabad. Okay, let's discuss cotton textile industry as a system, right? So first, let's discuss about the raw material. As we discussed the difference between raw material and input, right? So I hope it is clear in your mind, right? So for cotton, specifically for cotton textile industry, the raw material is raw cotton, right? That is the main raw material that is being used in cotton textile industry, right? So inputs, there are multiple inputs, like for example machinery, power supply, labor, land, site, capital, entrepreneur, etc. You can add as many inputs as you can, right? Now, that's the process, and we will study process in detail, inshallah. First, cotton is there, then another method is ginning. This picture is not very clear. I will, inshallah, explain it in the next slide. Okay. These are the multiple steps or stages, right? Or phases, you must say, I must say, right? In which the cotton, raw cotton, it passes through the different stages and phases, and then we get ready-made garment, right? Now, the first is ginning, right? As you can see here, right? And before ginning, if I'll see, that is the plucking of the cotton, raw cotton from cotton fields. After that, when that, what is ginning basically? It's a process in which seeds are separated from cotton balls, right? Like if I'll show you, for example, here we can see in here we have seeds in these cotton balls. These are cotton balls, right? Or raw cotton, you can also say. So these in ginning method, these these seeds are separated from cotton balls, right? Okay. Then when the seeds are separated, right? The another process is carding, right? In which bale. Okay. First, what happens? Let me explain the ginning, where the seeds are separated, right? And then after separation, these are transported. These are first collected or packed in these form of packs. Those are called cotton bales, right? and then they are sent to the cotton textile industry. In some of the cases, these ginning centers or ginning factories are located nearby cotton fields, but in some cases, ginning uh, department is part of cotton textile industry, right? So it depends, right? Most of the time, that ginning process is being done nearby where the cotton is being grown, right? Then these after ginning, when the seeds are separated, they are packed in form of these bales and they are transported to cotton textile industry. Okay. Now the second method is carding, right? Those bales or those packs rounded, then combing and drawing these off. That it is used to remove the short fibers. It is used to remove the short fibers and create strong yarn, right? What was happening in carding? Let me explain this again. Bales are unpacked and thick ropes are made. Then in combing, it is used to remove the short fibers. Combing is being done like we comb our hair, right? Short fibers are being removed and dust is also removed, and so the which create strong yarn. Then another one is drawing, right? In this process, fibers are straightened, right? Several silvers are combined to get a thick rope of cotton fibers, right? That is done in drawing. The next step is spinning, right? What happens in spinning? The silver it's stretched. Okay. In spinning, the silver is stretched and spun into cotton yarn and then wound or twisted, you can say, twisted onto bobbins, right? Bobbins are those reels sort of thing, right? Where the yarn is being twisted and turned, right? Then after that, we have weaving or knitting, we can say. In this department, beta, the threads are arranged lengthwise on a loom, right? That is called longitudinal is called warp, and the other threads that is called weft, right? Warp and weft, like that. These threads are being arranged, and knitting process it goes on, right? Weaving or knitting goes on, right? Then after weaving and knitting, the we get a fabric that it goes to dyeing and bleaching department where the different or you can say the printing department it goes, right? Then after that, at the end, it goes to quality control check. Now that was the process. In quality control check, the entire product fabric that has already been made or done, right? Those are being checked here, right? Because as we know that cotton textile sector, it's an export oriented sector, right? We do export our products to different countries, right? So it is necessary to maintain or to maintain our quality international quality standard. We have to meet that, right? Now let's see. First ginning, then in ginning we separate the seed, then from that ginning factories or centers, the cotton is being packed in cotton bales in form of these bales, right? And then it goes to cotton textile center, then those are unpacked, right? This is the process. At the textile mill, the bales are opened or unpacked by machine, and the lint is mixed and cleaned further by blowing and beating, right? So the short lint, it comes out, as I said, right? And then that is called carding, right? In carding, what was that? Unpacked thick ropes are made, right? And then combing is done and drawing is done to make the silver more strengthened and thick rope of cotton fiber that is made. Then here we have spinning. You can see these are the bobbins. These long structures are bobbins, right? As you can see here, what is happening here in spinning? That silver means that's this thread, right? This is silver, right? It is being twisted and wound around onto these bobbins, right? You can see these are bobbins, the yellow color one. Now weaving and knitting, this is power loom in which the weaving and knitting is it goes on. Machine called looms weave cotton yarns into fabric. The same way the first hand weaving frame did, the modern looms work at great speed. Okay, I was talking about this. You can see in this picture, you can see this is a fabric. You can see the horizontal and vertical cross stitch, right? So the vertical lines of these threads are called warp, and the horizontal are called weft. So like that, on this loom, the knitting or weaving is being done, and we get a fabric or cloth, you can say. So now it's a final checking. Then folding is done. Then after that, dyeing, bleaching, printing, whatever the prints we needed, right? That it gets done. If you have noticed nearby your school, the next to your school, I must say, right, there's a cotton textile industry. You can see, you must have observed the long cloth are hung on the on hangers, right, with different colors. So that is done. That you can say the last step of that cotton textile in the manufacturing of this cotton textile product, right? So different prints, different colors are being dyed. Okay. What are the byproducts of cotton textile industry? Number one is that is cotton seed, right? The pictures are there right in front of you. These are cotton seeds. Cotton seeds are, you can see how it looks like. Okay. uh, when the ginning is done, so when the raw cotton is gained, right, so we get these seeds, right? It is used to produce cotton seeds oil, right, which after refining can be consumed by human like any other type of vegetable oil that we use it. Likewise, we use cotton seed oil also, right? Or you can say yeah. And the next second byproduct is lint, right? Or you can say, what is lint? As you can see, it is, you can see lint here, right? Okay. Now, the lints are fine silky fibers, as you can see here, right? These fibers are long, and you can see how does it look like. Lints are traditionally used in the manufacture of paper as a raw material. In the manufacture of cellulose also it is being used, right? So what are those two byproducts of cotton textile industry? First is cotton seed, the another one is lint. Okay. Now, what are the outputs? Outputs, we all know that ready-made garments, right? The value-added products, towels, hosieries. What are these hosieries? These are again the cotton textile sector, which which makes socks, vest, t-shirts, jerseys, gloves, etc. Right? Okay. These are the products: bed sheets, pullovers, right? These are different pictures: bags, cotton fabric, different variety of cotton products are being made. Those are the output of cotton textile industry. Okay, there are some problems that we need to address. Those problems, right, those are faced by cotton textile industry, right? That is, one is the recession in the international market. If you remember, I have discussed earlier, recession means the break closing of or shutting down of industry, right, due to international crisis, right? For example, if I'll give you example of I will give you example, few years back, right, the oil, there was oil prices were declined, and different oil refineries, or if I'll give you example of Saudi Arabia, they have stopped extracting oil from their oil fields, oil reserves, right? So that was a recession in the market, international market, right? Okay, likewise, the another problem that is again faced, that could be faced by any other industry, that we have also faced for cotton textile product, like 8 to 9 years back, or 7 to 8 years back, right? What happened? There was a crisis just because of the frequent power shutdown, breakdown. What happened? Most of the cotton textile industries were closed down, and the owners, they opened their industry in Bangladesh, right? because the government, Bangladeshi government, they gave them more incentives than Pakistan government at that time. Now, Alhamdulillah, the situation is much better. Okay. Then another problem is it requires capital to sustain an international market, trade barrier and trade embargo due to child labor. If we don't meet the international quality control standards, right, we we might face trade barrier and trade embargo, right? Then again, inconsistent government policies related to your cotton textile industry, right? Sometimes they put taxes on cotton textile sector or agriculture sector, right? So which again, it reflects on cotton textile industry, right? Then poor transport network, again it hinders the easy transportation of raw material to industry, or the transportation of the final product or output to the rest of the market, right? Okay. What would be the solution? What would be the recommendation, right, in order to solve those problem, right? First I must say, that is agricultural reforms are needed, right? Agriculture reforms in terms of when the agriculture reforms would be there, right? So what would happen, the growth or production of raw cotton would get increased. When the raw cotton production would be increased, it's a cash crop, right? So production, multiple industries, cotton textile industry would be opened up in Pakistan, which reduces again, which helps to boost Pakistan's economy, when the more manufacturing is of cotton textile products is being done, because as we know that it is export oriented industry. The other solution would be tax exemptions, right? Tax holidays would be given for specifically to cotton textile center. Why is it needed? Because as the major foreign earning we get it from cotton textile industry, right, or cotton products. So that is, if the tax exemption would be there, so more entrepreneur would be attracted to invest in Pakistan in this sector in order to flourish this sector. So ultimately, the economy of Pakistan would be boosted, right? And then we have to focus on value addition, right? Value addition is value added product. We have to focus on the export of value added product to get more foreign exchange, right? We have to upgrade our technology in order to meet international standards, right? Again, human resource development should be there to train people, to train our people, right, in order to give good output, to minimize the trade embargo or trade barrier sort of things, right? Again, the electricity and gas tariffs should be reduced. That is again, the incentives should be given by the government, right? So the production would increase, the removal of energy crisis should be there, right? Exploration of new export markets should be there. We have to expand our international market in order to export to different countries to get more revenue, right? Again, need of improving textile production, right? Variety should be there. Number of export products, cotton export products should be uh, more in numbers, right? So that is where our consumer gets attracted towards our product, right? Again, improvement in productivity, awareness of international quality standards, that is very important. The different session education skills training should be there for our workers to get aware what are the international quality standards, what we have to meet to avoid again trade ban. Then introducing the concept on the job training, again on job training should be there, again the skill development should be there. Okay, and efficient management techniques should be introduced, right, in order to improve our production in cotton textile centers. I hope you have understood the concept, right? Let me tell you, let for the process beta, you have to refer to page number 157 of Humana Sethi book, figure 9.8, right? So if you look at figure 9.8, the diagram of different pictures are clearly given to you, right? Now I hope you have understood. If you have any question, those would be inshallah dealt in the class, right? Thank you so much for your patience, and make notes in your journal, and inshallah I'll come for with another topic, um, inshallah. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.